So I'm going to go ahead and we'll get this started. Um, People can join in as they like. And I'll be putting this on, make sure that this gets posted, and I'll also put it on my YouTube channel as well. So I talked last week about wanting to do something that really focuses on the business side of travel. And so I'm coming to you today with, how a travel advisor powers business. Okay. And what if I told you that sending your employees on a luxury cruise can actually make your company more money? And in doing so, it's not going to cost you any more than what you have today. And I'm going to show you how you can do that and how travel planning can transform your business, its performance, and as well as saving on your travel budget. And by using someone such as myself, that really does, it is a game changer for your business. So a little bit about myself. I am, my name is Raymond Giles. I've been traveling globally for the past 22 years. Started when I was in the U.S. Navy. Was able to see parts of Western Europe. The company that I'm with now has also sent me to 4 of the 7 continents, and 2 of those I've lived on. I've lived in Europe, and I've lived in the Middle East and Saudi Arabia. And it really gave me the opportunity to start to see more of the world, and I think it gives me an insight into what I can bring, what I bring to business travel, whether it's regular business travel, executives, even conventions and conference bookings. This is something that I bring to you and to your business that you potentially didn't have in the past. As a luxury travel concierge, I'm able to get bookings into hotels that maybe you didn't think existed, and elevating your stay. There's nothing worse than being on a business trip and you're miserable the entire time because the hotel is grimy, the bed is uncomfortable, the service is terrible, and in my case, when you book through me, I take all that headache out because I have the understanding of the different types of hotels in different locations, as well as my travel network, to better understand what kind of locations I'm putting my clients and your employees in. And then I'm also able to do group travel, and we'll talk about that a little bit more as we get into this broadcast. And I think one of the big things that I do is I know that in my business travel for my employer, the travel agency that we use, they charge a fee, whether it's just for a hotel, whether it's for airfare, and when it comes to me, I charge no fees. As a luxury travel agent, I am not allowed to charge any fees for my services whatsoever, and as such, I'm getting paid by commission, and you are effectively getting a service that you're paying no more for than you were yesterday, and you'll actually be saving money because I will be finding your accommodations at a cheaper rate than what you have in the past. So, diving right into it, let's look at what a travel concierge really does, especially when it comes to luxury. Okay, I save time because I have my network. I have the experience in travel. I am able to immediately go to what your needs are and find you the best trip to meet your needs. You're not having to go around and do all of the research to find out, all right, what are the hotels in this location? All right, do I need to Uber? Do I need to hire a driver to get me from the hotel to the offices that I'm going to be visiting while I'm there? Or if you're going to a convention, how close do you need to get to the convention? Are you able to walk? Is it a safe area to walk in? All of these are things that I'm able to take care of and answer for you and allow you to get back to doing what you need to do to make your business successful. And I'm also taking this off of your executive assistant, administrative assistants, or if you have a family office, I'm taking that out of their responsibility as well, allowing them to get back to providing you a service, and they're not spending all of their time doing this research and all the bookings for you. And so you get the personalized aspect of this, because like I said, I'm doing this to meet your needs. It's not to meet my needs, because the key thing is, by servicing your business and in your personal travel, by servicing you as you need instead of what I need, I can ensure that you will come back to me as a repeat client. The other thing, I'm able to unlock perks. So my agency has been invited to join the Bellini Club with Belmond. We get perks from the Peninsula Club with the Peninsula Hotels, and we also immediately are able to get perks from hotels such as the Four Seasons, Rosewood, and then we also have personal relationships with a lot of luxury hotels where we are able to lock in rates far cheaper than what you're going to find on any customer-facing site. And to go along with that, we're adding the perks. In a lot of cases, if you don't have loyalty to a hotel, you're missing out on things such as the free breakfast every day, potential upgrades. But when we are booking travel, because of our relationships and our constant booking with these hotels, it's almost like we are filling in for your loyalty program. And we are able to get you those perks while saving you money. Because when your loyalty program and you get points and you get miles, those miles aren't free. Okay? They might present them as a free perk, but you are paying for those points in your rate for your hotel room. So by booking with me, I'm able to get rates that you're not going to be able to find, be able to see, and so you don't even have to worry about points, because you're going to get better service at a cheaper rate than if you were to go through, the Hilton Honors program or Marriott Bonvoy. I'm going to be able to do better than that for you. You also have 24/7 support. All of my clients have my phone number. If something comes up, you're able to contact me, and if it's an issue with the hotel, I'm able to start talking to the sales manager, the hotel manager, to get the issue resolved to everybody's satisfaction. Recently, I had a client go to Costa Rica, and they could not find the driver for their transfer, and it's a 2.5-hour drive to their destination. I was on the road. I pulled off to the side of the road so that I could immediately start calling my vendor to find out what was going on. They could communicate with their driver to make sure that they were looking for my client. This is the kind of service that you're going to get with me, and you wouldn't necessarily get with your standard booking through a travel agency, they're not going to be fulfilling your needs. They're just going to put you on hold. You might not get an agent that cares, but with me, like I said, it's important for me for you to come back and to refer me to your network, your colleagues, so that I can service them as well. And finally, you're going to get a seamless travel experience. Like I said, when we do our initial consultation for your travel, you got to tell me where you want to go, when, what is it for, how many people are going, and what is your budget. Okay. With all of that information, I'm able to find you a hotel. Do you need transfers? I can book executive transfers when you have a driver who's waiting for you. You're not waiting for an Uber when you get to the airport. Okay? You're not waiting for an Uber to pick you up when you need to go to the offices. I'm able to make sure that you have all of these transportations needs met. And also, if you are needing to have, you want to show your client that you can get them into a nice dinner, really kind of wow them with the leverage that you have, I'm also able to get people into the hard-to-get restaurants and clubs because of the connections that me and my agency have. So if you're looking for the wow factor, not just for your employees, but also for your clients, this is another benefit to using us, where you might not be able to get that if you were trying to do it on your own. So what we really, one of the big things, and I think it's really starting to come to light, because in preparing for this Facebook Live, I've done some research, and there's starting to be more and more evidence that the cash bonus that everybody's accustomed to getting once a year might not always be the best bonus to keep your employees motivated, because they get their cash bonus, and they might spend it, they might invest it, but it hasn't really done anything to grab a hold of them to where they continuously think about it, where they talk to their other colleagues in your business about it. And Harvard Business School has even done some research where they found that businesses that had an incentive program where they rewarded people with non-cash rewards, and then they went to an all-cash bonus program, they saw that productivity actually dropped by about 4 to 5%. And I can show you that with this, with an incentive program, you are actually able to increase production, and it's going to motivate the rest of your team. So let's think of this for an example. If you have a sales team of 10 people, okay, and let's say last year each one of them had they generated $2 million in revenue for your business. If you came in and told them, said, hey, I would like to see a 5% increase in our revenue this year, which is $100,000, and whoever can hit that 5% increase will get a $10,000 vacation, whether it be a cruise, a resort, and it's not whoever does it first or what have you. It is every one of the people on the sales team that's able to do this will get this $10,000 vacation. Now, you might be thinking, well, God, I mean, that's $10,000 that I have to spend. But if you look at it from the positive point of view, yeah, you're spending $10,000 on a vacation, but you increased your revenue by 90,000. 10 people on your sales team, you have increased your revenue by $900,000. Okay, so is it worth that to spend $100,000 on vacations to get another $900,000 in revenue? And then if you were to continue to do this, you will see that it's not so much a competition, but your employees are going to come back and they are going to talk about how great a trip they had. That they had never thought about going to this destination, but they're already planning their next trip to go. So that's going to light the fire under everybody else, because they're going to want that trip next time. So, like I said, it's a way to really, it's going to boost your sales, because you have to increase the sales to be able to meet the mark to get the vacation. Okay? Increasing loyalty. If they know that they are getting this perk where they're able to make memories with their family, then why would they risk going to an employer who's not going to give them that same level of respect and value for the work that they have put into the business? And then it's also strengthening your culture. Like I said, it becomes a point where people are talking about how great of a vacation you were able to give them, just because they sold another $100,000 compared to last year. So it's a really easy incentive program to create, and it would really benefit your business by having something like this within your staff. And it doesn't have to be just solely on your sales team. It can be to other parts of your business as well. We do know that you do not want to incentivize a safety culture, because even OSHA acknowledges that if you reward not being told that there was a safety incident or that there was a near miss, then you incentivize people to not report injuries and safety incidents. So let's keep in mind when we're doing something like this, you do want to steer clear of incentivizing a safety program with something like this, because you will drive the bad behavior of not reporting incidents. So the other thing, I guess the next thing we'll kind of discuss is executive business travel. So I do luxury travel. That's what my agency focuses on. We are able to take care of the most high-end clients, but we're also able to take clients who didn't know that they can afford luxury, and we start to expose them to it, because when you go on vacation, you are wanting the ultimate in pampering. You want to have this experience like, man, I've got to do this again. And it really does kind of recharge you. But in the same breath, we are also able to handle executive travel. You know, you focus on the deals, I focus on the details. Just like we said earlier, it allows your team to focus on what they need to be doing day to day. Your EA, your admin, they contact me, give me the details, and then boom, I've got your trip taken care of. So you don't have to fret about that. And if you have any questions, you need to make any changes, then you just let me know, and then I take care of it. Once again, it's not something where you're calling and you're waiting on hold with somebody to make these changes. You give it to me, and I'm the one that takes care of it. I think one of the other big things is, like I said earlier, you know, I can make sure that your driver is waiting there for you. You want a private transfer. You don't want to be climbing onto a bus with everybody else after you've been traveling for 10, 12 hours. You want to have the black Cadillac, town car, Mercedes, waiting for you, so that you've got your bags in the back of the car, you're able to sit back and relax, cold towel, bottle of water, and you know, you start getting down to business, and you're not trying to figure out, all right, how do I connect to my phone so that I can use GPS to get to the hotel? All that's taken care of. And I take care of your private transfers. And then, once again, like I was saying earlier, you have 24/7 support, but not only is it 24/7, but you also have global support from me. I start working with the hotels. I have contacts within the big chains to start getting issues resolved, so that you aren't having to waste your time doing that. You're not losing sleep over it. I will be giving up my sleep to make sure that your travel experience is really what you need to make sure that you are successful in your business trip. There's nothing worse than spending $10, $15, $20,000 on a business trip to find out that it was a failure because you were tired or you were disgruntled with something that took place that had nothing to do with the meeting itself. So by having me take care of all the back end stuff, you're able to focus on doing what you need to do while you're there to make your business successful. So another thing is group travel planning. This comes in a couple of ways. Okay, if we think back to the incentive program with employees, if it's a hotel or resort, if I get at least 10 rooms that need to be booked, I can contact my suppliers, and we can start getting a contracted, negotiated rate down to where you are well below what is available, either through the hotel or the resort, or even through a discounted website. I'm going to beat those prices, and I'm going to beat them really well. And on top of that, I'm also negotiating in breakfast, maybe a spa session, something like that. I could potentially get negotiated in, depending on how many people are going and how much time you are giving me. Because if I only have a week's notice, I have very little time for bidding and negotiation. But if you're giving me a few months, it really allows us the chance to source out to the best vendors, get the best proposals to make sure that your either retreat or your conference is really going to go off without a hitch. And once again, you're not only impressing your employees, but you're impressing your clients, you're impressing your supply chain, showing them the kind of leverage that you have when it comes to the travel and hospitality game. With these hotel blocks, like I said, when we get a contract in place, because I'm not paying for it, my clients are paying for their hotel rooms. You sign the contract guaranteeing the number of rooms that are going to be filled, and boom, you've got these locked-in rates. They're not going to go up. If somebody wants to book on a Friday and then somebody else from the same business books on Tuesday, it could be $100, $200 difference a night because they start seeing rooms fill up. Well, there's a demand, availability drops, prices go up, supply, demand. Once I have these locked-in rates, your clients are not going to see any of that. Or your employees, or anybody that's going to a conference that you might be putting on. There are times where I can make sure that if you need meeting space, I can find hotels that have adequate meeting space for your event, get the hotel room block there, and then also say, hey, they're going to be getting several thousand square feet of conference space. So let's calculate that in to this negotiation because they're going to be paying for that. Let's get this room block down because you're going to be filling up space that you need filled so that you can make money. Let's make sure that we're doing the right thing by my clients. And there are some cases where you might have a conference that you need 1,000 rooms. It might be 750 rooms at one location, 250 at another. But what I'm able to do is get the links, give those to you for you to share with your people, and then they're able to go in and say, they have their conference code and they're able to book it, but they get to book the hotel of their choice based on what is available. That way, as other hotels see that their rooms are filling up, they can raise their prices on their rooms too. So it's basically an effect on everybody. They're driving up the cost all around. So it's going to, and furthermore, it's going to incentivize potential attendees to these conferences to stay at the hotel or the conference center where the convention is actually being held. So all of that is done through me. So I'm getting you better pricing, smoother logistics because your attendees are at the conference center. They're at the convention center. And it gives a better attendee experience. So if you're doing an annual conference and they know that you were able to get everything handled so well this one year, they're going to want to go back the next year, and your conference is actually going to grow because of the repeat attendance. And so, we've talked about incentive programs, we've talked about executive travel, groups, but now other people in your business are going to be traveling as well. That's been my role. As I am a worker bee, and I have been doing business travel for the last 12 years. And with that, I have to contact somebody, and they make recommendations on hotels, but it's not always the best recommendation. Or some of them, I have to go in and say, hey, this is the hotel that was told to me, put me in this hotel. Well, in my case, you tell me that you need to have 3 people going, and you tell me what the budget is. I can get all the people that you need into one hotel. I get all the logistics taken care of it, and then boom, I send it back to you to share with your employees. That way, I know that in some of my cases, it's taken me 2 to 3 days to get travel booked. When you're doing this with me, you're not having to worry about your employees wasting 2 to 3 days to plan travel on top of the time that they're going to be out of the office. So I help streamline that, once again, saving your business money. Multi-city trips are no problem. I have done these myself in business travel. I've done these in luxury travel, and it's not a problem at all handling the multi-city travel if it means flying from one destination to another, taking the train, or if you just have to switch hotels in a city to put you closer to the supplier, because we know that in some European cities, you can be in the same place, but it might take 2 to 3 hours. It's the same problem in Asia. Traffic gets really bad in the afternoon. You don't want your employees spending all of their time on the road so that they're not getting any sleep. They're not able to enjoy their evening because if they are miserable and they are tired, you are not going to get the best benefit out of the trip that they've had to take and that you've had to pay for as the employer. Car rentals. I can handle car rentals. I have multiple vendors where we are able to get a rate cheaper than what you're going to get through the discounted sites, even through booking directly through the vendor, because my agency, my consortium, we have rates that go directly to the vendor themselves that are cheaper than what you're going to find if you go directly to National or Hertz Enterprise. We're going to be able to beat the rates that you find online. That's just the way it is. And another one is travel insurance. We do offer travel insurance. We offer travel insurance for professionals who are traveling a lot throughout the year. And then also, if you're buying a non-refundable ticket, getting the travel insurance to make sure that your employee has medical insurance when they're if they're out of the country, because keeping in mind that our domestic insurance does not always work when you're working overseas. So it's a good idea to have travel insurance for your employees in this case. If something was to happen, I know that I had a trip planned to Italy one year, and my flight out of Houston to New Jersey was so delayed. By the time I would have left Houston, my connection would have already left New Jersey. So if you were looking for non-refundable tickets, you would not have been able to be necessarily reimbursed for this. So I'm able to get the insurance where you're able to be reimbursed. But if your employee was to, say, get to Italy and they had a medical emergency, they would be able to go to the doctor, and the insurance company would speak directly to the hospital to get everything paid for, so your employee is not having to worry about that. You're not having to worry about that, so that you can make sure that your employees are properly cared for, getting the medical attention that they need while they're away from home in a land where they might not even speak the language that is predominantly spoken in that country. And like I said earlier, I'm able to arrange the accommodations at every destination. So it's not a business trip, but it is a 3-week itinerary for a lady who is retiring. And in the 3 weeks, she's going to 5 different cities. And in all 5 cities, I was able to get her a cheap rate at a luxury hotel with benefits, so that she's actually saving money on breakfast. They are going to be treated as VIPs upon getting to the hotel because of my connections with these luxury brands. So once again, it is in your benefit to make sure that your employees, your executives, your managers are all getting the best experience possible. They need to be talking to me about their business travel, because you want them to be able to do the best for you while they are out of the office. So, why choose me? Okay. One, I am passionate about travel, not just from the perspective of business, but from a personal point of view where I want everybody to enjoy their travel. Yeah, you know what? It's a business trip, but you should still enjoy it. Did a trip to China. We stopped in Shanghai. Everybody else was able to leave one day. I had to leave the next. Luckily, I had good accommodations, and I had somebody to show me around Shanghai, the Belmond, and I was able to take a little bit more away from that, even though it was not a desirable situation. And that's what I want for your employees. If they are going to have to go somewhere, I want to make sure that they are able to enjoy themselves while getting the business done. Because, like I said, a happy employee is a productive employee. And I call myself a travel concierge, travel advisor. And the reason for that is I give unbiased advice. I have my places that are my favorite because of what is there. It might be history, it might be food. But when you book with me, I do not have preferred hotels. I do not have hotels where I basically have an agreement with them that I'm going to use them as the primary focus of putting my clients. I'm putting my clients in the place that is the best for them, the best for their budget, and best meets their needs. So that's really what it comes down to. You get full concierge support, whether it's just booking the accommodations, getting your transfers taken care of, or, like I said earlier, if you are meeting with a client and you really want to wow them, you want to get into that hard to get into restaurant that has a 3-4 month waiting list. I have the connections that can help you get into those types of places. I will say yes, but there might be a little caveat on that yes, depending on where and when it is that you want to go into some places. But you are going to get, excuse me, a full concierge experience to make sure that your travel is truly seamless, that you truly feel that it was money well spent, and that it is the most advantageous trip for your business itself. Because I do the corporate travel and I do personal luxury travel, I'm able to understand the needs of my executives as well. If I plan an executive's personal travel and I know that they have certain taste, when I'm doing their corporate travel, I can be like, hey, this person doesn't like Pepsi, they only like Coke. Make sure that there's Coke on the property for this person. If you don't like sparkling water, if they're going to put 2 bottles of water in there, I want to make sure both are still, because they do not like sparkling. Sparkling water is going to be a waste of money on this client. If you have a preference in pillows, you like feather, you like the hard foam, if I know this as your travel concierge for your luxury travel, I'm already taking care of that for your corporate travel. You don't have to ask. So that's another benefit you get from me. And I think most importantly, when it comes to a business trying to run effectively and economically, is I'm saving you time and I'm saving you money. I'm finding rates cheaper than what you're going to find, and I'm also giving your employees back to you so that they're not having to handle all of these tasks. Like I said, I'm the expert. I know where to go to get the best answer, to get the best rates, and get the best hotels for you so that you have the best travel experience. And so finally, what do we need to do, right? Are you ready to elevate your travel within your business? Then let's talk, okay? You have the QR code in the presentation right there. That'll take you to my digital business card. You can reach out to me through email at raymond.giles@luxurytravel.com. My personal cell phone is 281-536-1713. So you already have my personal cell phone. So as my clients, you're definitely going to have it. Or you can visit my website. There's Regal Luxury Travel, W for with, Raymond.com. And if you are interested in seeing more insights on travel, what I can offer to you outside of the executive in the business space, feel free to go over to YouTube, like my channel. It's youtube.com at Regal Luxury, or Regal _luxury _travel _W _Raymond. And there you will see some of my other videos, some properties that I have visited, to give you an idea on what they are offering that you might not know if you don't go there. Because the big thing about me doing this is making sure that you are informed, that your employees are really going to be productive, and like I said, that you are having the most value for the money that you are going to spend. So I hope this has been a beneficial presentation to all of you. I will be loading this on YouTube as well for everybody to come back and look at. If you have any questions, feel free to send those to me in an email, and I will be happy to respond. If you want to drop a comment underneath the video once it gets posted on YouTube, by all means, feel free to do that as well. I think next week, for those that watch my Facebook's lives pretty regularly, what I'm going to do next week is I'm going to actually put a little bit more focus on groups and use an example that I'm going through right now where I actually am working with a prep school's football team, and I'm getting quotes for their travel for when they get ready to go to these football games all across the South. So, till next week, everyone have a safe week. Anybody going to Denver for the World Quality Conference, I will see you there. And feel free to stop by and say hi to the Design and Construction Division's booth at the ASQ conference. So, till next time, everybody stay safe and have a good week.